We find ourselves in a less than desirable economic environment, and so I'm here turning $50 of clothes into $2,000 in value. Might be an optimistic estimate because I haven't started the work yet, but here are the fancy things that you can make with a dress shirt, a cardigan, and this Aritzia dress that I thrifted. It's Babaton. If you're new here on my channel, welcome. We do sewing inspo, sewing literacy, sewing community, and one thing you won't see here, after all the thrift flips that we've done over the years, is a repeat idea. So let's get into the sewing techniques we're going to use today.
So you can wrap it across the left or across the right, depending on your preferences. And you can also create like lovely twists in the garment and really make a beautiful. This gives you a gorgeously modest look here.
This is $136 and I already spent $6.99 on a cardigan and $13.51 on thread. For the sake of the economy, we are going to start with the lowest ROI and work our way to the most recession-proof thrift flip. Attributes of an ideal cardigan: a straight opening, no closures, no buttons, no circle neck, no V, long sleeve. I mean, I kind of wish this was even longer, but maybe at some point it got shrunk in the wash. A ballet core, color scheme. This is optional. We begin. First, I'm trying to figure out where to cut it. I've got a pin here for the wraparound spot. I've got a pin here for how high on the waist it should be on the side seam. I'm gonna copy that out on this side. Okay, if you guys want to hear about my favorite organic mattress, I've got a quick shout out to Birch Living, who's sponsoring this video. Okay, she's a little messy right now because I'm in the middle of shooting, but I'll show some footage of her looking much cuter. The thing that might interest you about Birch is that they make mattresses that are crafted with natural and organic materials that are sustainably sourced. Their mattresses are free from polyurethane foams, which can cause harmful off-gassing, and they're also free from fiberglass, which can be harmful to your health. Back when we were shopping for a mattress, we picked Birch because of the organic and natural materials, and unlike synthetic mattresses, the wool in these mattresses makes it hypoallergenic since it is both allergen and mildew resistant. All of that for us meant that we could enjoy many years with this mattress since it is built to last, on top of the fact that we've already had it for almost 3 years and it's still going strong. We love that since day one we have slept well with it. It has kept us well rested throughout pregnancy, life with a newborn, and we got the Birch Kids mattress for Marla's room. If you saw her bedroom makeover video, we did a whole museum theme transformation with lots of DIY projects, and her Birch Kids natural mattress is super cool because it has this two-sided flippable design for age appropriate comfort. There's like a firmer side for ages 3 to 7 and a softer side for ages 8 to 12. If you decide to go with them, with your Birch mattress, you get a 100-night sleep trial. You also get a 25-year warranty. But for those of you living in the US, the best part might be that they deliver for free right to your door in the US. They also offer in-home setup and removal, making your buying experience as easy as possible. All that to say, we love our Birch mattress. We think you will too. If you are looking for a new bed, check out Birch Living. You can visit birchliving.com/withwendy. I'll put the link in the description too. You will get 20% off your Birch mattress and 2 free EcoRest pillows. We also need some Elasticam, this giant roll I bought during COVID. Stay tuned to see when I finally finish this roll of elastic. I'm gonna be hemming the entire raw bottom of the cardigan using the elastic. It's a trick that I discovered during COVID. It's such a clean way to hem knits. The tricky part is you gotta put a little bit of stretch in the elastic as you sew so that it ends up like this. Better to lean on the tight side than on the loose side. If it's too loose, it'll be lettucey. If it's too tight, you're gonna see a lot of scrunching. I'm gonna fold it in and seal that with a zigzag stitch. Not bad. Okay, now for our 2 long ties. I want to do a work smarter, not harder thing where I sew these raw edges together, but I offset them by 2 ribs. And in doing so, I'm hoping to create 1 master long ribbon. I've seen this technique a bajillion times on Instagram with bias tape. I'm going to try to do it with a ribbed knit. Here we go, all pinned up, and I decided to offset by 3 ribs. It's getting serious. On this machine, I'm going to put in a basting stitch because an overlocker is not pin friendly. And now I'm gonna overlock so it's a really narrow and clean seam. Now it's closed off and it has a little bit of stretch. The challenge is now to cut it into one long string. This is not wide enough, but now I know it works. I did it. Made one long, super long string out of one straight stitch. Yeah. Plan now is to seal it wrong sides together, sew all the way down. I might do a little thing at the seams where I split them to face opposite edges so that they don't have as much bulk. Look at that. Last step on the cord, I'm going to zigzag stitch this free overlocked edge down so that it's securely attached and we have a smooth little tie. Ta-da! All I got left to do is cut it in half and attach it to the cardigan. Leticia helped me sew the straps in. Look at that stretch. Yeah. For your recession finance planning, this was supposed to be a 7 times improvement. And up next, we are aiming for a 19 times improvement. Let's go. I don't know if you guys have been seeing these designs by j.kim, but it's been burned in my brain. I've been wanting to do this flower thing for a very long time. It's a $905 dress. Sometimes this label also mixes it up and does a little contrast trim. So I've got my dress, bias tape. This fall winter Chanel dress informs the color palette because I'm trying to make this something I can wear all year round. This dress that I found does have a lining, so I'm just gonna put the flowers on the shell, and I kind of like that it won't be totally see-through. And as you can see, we're gonna try and strategically place the flowers so that they cover up the stain. So if you have anything that's got some imperfections, this might be a fun thing to try. With my Fashionary women's wear body form template, I drafted a little front and back. Leticia helped me cut out this template from cardboard and then she traced them onto the dress. I have a strategy in mind, but that doesn't mean I'm not scared, so I'm going to start with the back. I'm sewing the bias tape to the wrong side of the fabric. I've noticed that it really does make a difference to give the raw edge some snips. You see how this curve is kind of bulky? This one I did the snips, and the bias tape just sits a lot flatter and nicer. And then we fold it over and do a straight stitch as tight as possible along the edge. All of that wraps one of the flower loops, and then over here I have the next loop cut out to do the same thing. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared. Guess I'll tie these together. Okay. Between a pass and a fail, I think this is a pass. Yeah. She did it! I feel like I've been wearing this same dress for a week straight because I still think that I can do a whole multi-thrift flip in one day. I don't know when my brain is ever going to course correct on this. And so for the sake of continuity, I keep wearing this dress. You can take your guesses as to how many days this has actually taken so far. Red flower's done. That was my interpretive dance for blue. You guys, I finished it. Here it is styled a couple of different ways. The brand that inspired this, j.kim, is actually named after its founder, Kim, and she comes from a Soviet Korean family, so I love how that is the cultural background that informs this design aesthetic. This bias tape flower design has been in my saved folder for months, so I'm so happy I finally got to try it out in this super colorful way. It is time for our most ambitious bamboozle. With this one, I'm aiming for this Simone Rocha shirt. On the runway, it was styled in a gathered form, but I did also find this picture, which shows what it looks like when it's completely flat. Original retail price, $10,090. I have my shirt. I've got some webbing. You need some extra fabric that matches, and buckles. This shirt is kind of ideal because it's a really easy color to match for the casing. I really do not know what is going on with... Oh, they're French cuffs. I need 4? This is a time. Okay, that's not bad. Side note on this one is that I'm potentially sewing this for another sewing YouTuber to wear for a separate project, so stay tuned for that on Instagram. With sewing, you always gotta figure out ways to work smarter, not harder. I'm trying to do this thing with the casing where I'm putting in a basting stitch perfectly at this 1/4 inch distance. I don't love to deal in inches, but the webbing that I'm working with is in inches. With the stitch in place, it becomes super easy to press the raw edges in. That gets me to very easy to sew on casings. Let's pin it on, shall we? This is where things got a little tricky. So you can see here I've drawn these little lines that indicates the slope that these casings need to be sewn onto the shirt with so that they will hang perfectly straight and aligned down the front. I also added this little marking at the bottom to show how long they should be. Yeah, smooth. I think it looks good. But my plan is to just run this parallel to this edge with this guy inside. I have a problem. I think I made my casing too narrow. I'm gonna try to fix it. I mean, what choice do I have? Alright, I cheated. We can add this to the long list of secrets between you and me because you watch this channel. I sewed down both sides of the casing, but at the cost of making it a little bit bulkier on the back end so that there is enough room to gather. Let's see if it gathers. So the problem is, if the casing is too tight, it won't gather, and that is literally the point of this entire garment. Yeah! Oh my gosh, yay! Okay, now I can do the other side with confidence. Secure the webbing to the shoulder with a zigzag stitch. And lastly, I don't know if you can tell the grip strength that is going into my fingertips for this maneuver, but I am firmly holding the casing down so that I can seal the webbing inside. Locked up, never getting out of here. Whew, okay, I think that was the hardest part. This is the last step? Oh my god. When you're on the last step and you completely miss the mark. Okay. 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 Oh. That slides very smoothly. So it definitely takes a little finagling, but let me show you. Here's where we started, and these are the different ways that I would style these thrift flips from today. Let me know in the comments which of these you like the most. I'm quite curious which is the crowd favorite, and don't forget to subscribe so you can find me easily for our next video. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.